to Game 4 of the PJHL Schmaltz Cup semifinals from Hanover tonight. The Barons hosting the Napanee Raiders, series sitting in favor of the Raiders at 2-1. I'm Steve Sabrin, along with Johnny Kay and Ryan Drury. Miles back at our CKNX studios, keeping everything on track, and Adam Olivero from Whiteman TV making everything look good. Well, a full house expected tonight, and we expect full energy from both teams. Again, the microscope shining a light on these two teams' mistakes are highlighted a lot more, and both teams will have to be at their best. Let's get right into the keys to the game. Johnny Kay for Hanover tonight.
The Hanover Barons, they're at home. They got a capacity crowd here. They've had a few days, Steve, get a rest, kind of go over some things at practice. Look for the Barons to mix up the lineup, shake it up, those top two lines. I'm not exactly sure how they look like. I have an idea, but I don't want to spoil it for you. The power play for me and all of us here has to be better for the Hanover Barons. Making an adjustment, you'll see Drayton Howell in his usual spot on the right side for the one-timer. Have to get pucks to the net. They have to get through, and those little things are going to make a big difference tonight, Steve.
For the Napanee Raiders.
You know what? So far, 3 games into this series, Logan Vale's been the most impressive player, in my opinion. Makes big saves. When I think of goaltending, I always want my goaltender to make 100% of the routine saves and give me 1 and 4 in the big saves. Vale's been 3 out of 4. He's been outstanding. Napanee needs to score first, try to get a lead here, get the crowd out of it, and they just have to keep pushing, keep working hard, and you never know here in a big Game 4 in Hanover.
Ryan Drury, you'll be along the boards tonight talking with some of the players, but before we get there, we talked to Coach Brady Anderson before the game. What did you take from that conversation?
Well, he basically said that their practice this week wasn't very good, but then again, you know, if you've been around the game long enough, you know, sometimes that ends up kind of being a good omen. Guys are a little loose at practice, things aren't going the way they want, and usually that means you're going to turn around and have a great effort, and they need one here tonight. You cannot afford to go down 3-1 to a team of this caliber and go back to their home rink trying to rescue something. You want to take initiative here, and for large stretches of this series, the Barons have been able to do that with their physicality. I think they want to see a little more of that, and that forecheck get to work for them and score some more dirty goals. And I think a big part of that, like JK said, is their power play. I don't need to tell you how good their power play is. You can look at the numbers. I mean, it's like saying fire's hot. They're really, really good. They're going to shake it up a little bit. They tried to do it at the end of Game 3. They're going to do it permanently here, at least to start in Game 4. Drayton Howell's going to be back on that top unit. The Hawaii 5-0 is going to take a little bit of a break for now, but they want clearly more traffic-oriented goal-scoring opportunities on their power play, and he's a guy that has a heavy, lethal shot that not a lot of guys at this level possess, so I think that that's part of the thinking there. Let's use our size, our skating ability, and physicality to not only open up the ice for nice plays, let's use it to create some dirty stuff in front of the net as well.
For the scratches tonight, the visiting Napanee Raiders, Isaac Brown, number 4 out of the lineup, serving the second of a 2-game suspension. He'll be expected back in the lineup on Sunday. That's it for the Raiders. They keep everything else the same. For the Hanover Barons, number 10, Jaden Shield comes out of the lineup. He is away, and it will be Caden Holden, the AP for the Grey Bruce Highlanders, stepping in. He'll be wearing number 20 on the blue line tonight. As we get ready for Game 4, the arena filling up nicely. Fans were here by about 6:30 to grab a spot, and we expect some high energy from both these teams coming out of the gate right away. Johnny Kay, the mental part of the game, you're into the middle of the series. How is your mindset as a player right now?
You know what? Home team Barons, the white of the ice, the white of the boards, that's my go-to all the time. Keep your head down, take your 30-second shift, make the most of it, and just play smart. Napanee Raiders on the road, get into it, get a crash in early, work below the goal line, anything can happen.
When you look at this team from Napanee, Ryan, and the veteran core they have, they're going to have to tap into that coming into the stretch here.
I certainly think so, because you know, down 2-1, and keep in mind with what happened at the end of Game 3, Hanover felt like they might have had that game in the bag, and then what happened ended up happening, and they're a team that's not going to be ruffled by that, and now they get to come back at home ice and try and take advantage of the matchup game. you're right. For Napanee, they need guys like Ben White. They need the McNeils. They need guys like that to step up in front of Vale and give those type of performances that he's giving them in the blue paint on the ice. They're certainly capable of doing that. There's a lot of skill on this team. They do a lot of their scoring by committee, and that's a strength, but you need, I feel, in a game like this where you know you're going to get Hanover's best, you need one of those big star guys to step up and have a big night for you.
One of the highlights, too, of both teams this season, or this series at least, is shot blocking. Both teams have excelled in cutting down those shooting lanes. Johnny K, how as an offense do you get around that?
Yeah, you have to have your head up. You're at the top of the umbrella. If you can't get the direct shot, if the shooting lane is closed, it's okay to miss 5 feet on either side. You can get a bank off the boards. The important thing is to get the puck through. I've never seen a junior hockey team like the Napanee Raiders block pucks. They're relentless. Hanover Barons are going to have to make some adjustments here at the PJHL Center.
Ryan, the effect of the crowd, the effect of being back on home ice, what does this do for the Barons?
I think that you've got to take it responsibly, right to your legs, and have some big opening shifts here. We've seen the crowd effects watching the NHL playoffs, what that's doing for teams early in games, especially teams that are trailing in series. The first 10 minutes tonight are going to be massive for Hanover and are really going to paint a picture of what kind of story this game is going to tell from the hometown side here. If they have a strong opening 10 minutes, I think everybody here will breathe a little easier. If they get behind the 8 ball, maybe even surrender the first goal, Napanee is going to know that they've got a really good defensive system and they're going to feel like they're a little more in control.
Well, let's expand on that point, Johnny K, because you can work hard for 10 minutes, but if you're not rewarded within those 10 minutes, how does it affect the game?
Yeah, you just have to stick to your game plan. You can't get frustrated. It's not going to work every time or we'd have scores of 29-27. It's all about just being relentless, believing in your teammates, getting pucks to the net. Beautiful things happen in the blue paint, Steve.
All right, the flag bearers are out to pump up this crowd in Hanover tonight. Ryan Drury will be along the boards with us this evening and getting us some unique views, of course. And here come the officials. It'll be the 4-inch stripes, and the Barons coming out to our right in their white jerseys, Napanee to our left in their black uniforms, and we are just about ready to go. Right beside the bell, Johnny K, we'll hear that ringing a lot tonight, but that's just showing what the atmosphere is like here this evening.
Yeah, not too often can you play in front of a hometown crowd. Even the visiting team Raiders, they'll be excited. Great vibe here at the PJHL Center.
Opening face-off just around the corner. We'll take a break. You've been listening to the pregame show brought to you by Westburn, Rexall, and Listowel, your source for electrical supplies. This is OHA Hockey on CKNX, brought to you by Cleaning Depot by PBJ, more than just cleaning supplies.
We ask you please rise and remove your hats.
Our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free, from far and wide. Oh, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Blake. Great job. Starting the lineup for the Napanee Raiders, number 5, Eric McNeil. 91, Cole Campbell. Forwards, 10, Andrew Carr. 18, Mitchell Patrick. 19, Ben White. Chiboli, number 40, Logan Vale. 4, your Hanover Barons defense, number 17, Brody Verbeek. Number 24, Dick Duggan. Forwards 18, Sam Barrett. 19, Kyle Bowley. 44, Mark McIntosh.
Okay.
Bowley, come on, people, number 29, Barons, go! Go, Barons, go! Go, Barons, go! Go, Barons, go!
And away we go, opening period here in Hanover tonight with chance of Go Barons Go to start things off. Puck deep in the Napanee zone to our left. Raiders skating left to right and Hanover right to left here in the opening period. Puck on the near side. Here's Barrett, sends it up to Maloney. He'll cut to the near wing. Into the offensive zone. Maloney across. McIntosh's shot off a skate. Gets it back, trying to center for Barrett. It's intercepted. And the Raiders trying to get it out, unable to do so. It lands on the doorstep of Vale, and McIntosh will watch the goaltender cover it up.
Quick start for the home team Barons. There's that first line change. Maloney, Barrett, McIntosh. Top heavy for Brady Anderson's Barons. And good start. McIntosh with a shot. Vale, it was blocked, of course. And 19:28 left here, first period. We're just starting face off to the left of Vale, far side.
Colhoun, Dukeshire, and McGilvery on this line two. Back to Howell. Shot comes through. Glove save Vale. The Raiders respond with Williams along with Cronus and Aylesworth. Face-off win by the Barons. They get it back to the far blue line. Danny Scott off the end boards. McGilvery couldn't pick it up. Dukeshire comes in, rips it around the net. Cronus trying to catch up to it. Puck goes to the far boards. Scott keeps it in on Williams. It's back in their feet again. McGilvery trying to dig it out. And it's sent around the net. Here's Dukeshire catching up. Puck gets through and tipped down the length of the ice. And this is going to be icing against Napanee.
Want to shout out to one of our listeners. It's his birthday. Happy 80th, Dave Arnold, Owensound, Ontario. Talking to your son Mike here. You listen to all the games. Steve and I and Ryan appreciate it. Hope you have a happy birthday.
Face off to the far side in the Napanee end. Line one comes out once again. Back to Scott, over to Howell. Sends it off the end boards. Cronus will rip it around to the near side. McIntosh racing for it. Will pick it up. Sends it looking to go back to Howell. Can't make the pass. Trickles back to the blue line. Howell straight to the net. And that is steered away. Napanee has a chance to clear. It's back to center ice. Hanover right back in. Case coming back for the puck. Sends it over to the near side for Aldridge. He'll take a look. Cross ice to the far side. Jarman try to knock it in. Cronus follows up. Sharp angled shot on Hartley, and he'll swallow that up into the chest. Just an update down from the Allen Cup. The Minto 81s down 4-1 to the Griffins in the first period. So some work to do for the Minto 81s in that Allen Cup semifinal. That game started at 7:30. We'll keep you up to date. Face-off goes to the far side in the Hanover end. Picked up by Duggan. Sends it to the corner. Earhart left it there. Goes back to the point. Napanee controls off the end boards, and Hartley's going to swallow that one up, so the play does not continue.
That's Eric Taher from Orillia, Ontario, the 18-year-old. You see what I mean there, Steve? He didn't have a clear shot to the net. He banked it about 5 feet to the right of Hartley. Rebound. Hartley covers it. Now there's a face-off to his left, near side.
Picked up by Verbeek. Got met by Lambert. Puck goes to the corner. Lambert gave it away. Arnold will get it up ahead to McCary, and he'll put it into the Napanee zone. Puck comes to the near wing. Gets out of the end. Verbeek slaps it right back in, and McIsaac and McCary go in with a mission. Puck in behind the Napanee net. Goes over to the far left side. Cutting up through center ice. Here's the rush by Earhart. It's into the offensive zone. Him and McIsaac go into the end boards. Jarman rips it around over to the near point. Campbell keeps it in. Here's Jarman. Takes a look, dumps it in behind the net, goes over to the far boards. Galbraith couldn't get there for Hanover. Puck comes back to the near side. McCarry's there first, trying to squeak it out the near wing, and it will get out over the blue line, forcing Campbell to send the puck across far side. Raiders through the middle, coming into the offensive zone. Austin Waite trying to keep up with his man. Play goes to the far side. Kick back to the point. McNeil with the shot. That's tipped, and a nice play by Hartley to stay with that puck. Play comes up the near side, back to the point. Campbell shot through traffic. Hartley down. Puck loose in front. It's going to be picked up by Farlow. Play to the far side. Here's Galbraith. Galbraith to center ice, and it's fired into the Napanee zone, and the Barons will get a change. Farlow in deep, trying to hold it in the near corner while his teammates get into the zone. Picked up by McNeil around the net. McNeil taking a look, gets away from the forecheck, and the puck's down the ice. White slapping it down, and it's picked off his stick. Danny Scott on the near side, trying to backhand it out of the zone. That did not work. Dumped in deep. Look out. Here comes Patrick out in front. Colhoun's going to clear it behind the net, but there's White to pick it up. The captain swings it back to the point. Held in by McNeil. He'll look to shoot. Sidesteps a hit. Look out. McGilvery able to pick up the loose puck, and he's out on the far side. 3 Raiders back defensively. In comes McGilvery. Off wing. Quick shot. Blocker save by Vale. Puck comes back to the near side. Here's Howell. Keeps it in for Colhoun, but he's swarmed. Cronus into the corner. Takes a hit. Spins around. Still with the puck. Sneaks up that near right wing. Gets to the blue line and out. And he puts it into the Hanover zone. That's going to chase Duggan back. Duggan behind the net to pick it up. He'll take a look. We've played just about 3.5 minutes of the opening period. Still scoreless. Duggan will walk out from behind his own net. Barons with 4 wide. Here comes Barrett on the near wing. Throws it into the offensive zone. Goes off the end board. Swung up to the near side. Kept in by Holden. The call up tonight. Play goes over to the far side. Miscue there. McIntosh didn't go for the puck. He thought his defenseman was going to step up, and now Hanover back into their own zone. Here's Duggan with it. Looks across the blue line. Tipped at center. McIntosh. And that's going to be icing against the Barons.
What I noticed so far in the D zone for the Barons, it's a good sign that they're all 5 are below the hash marks on the exits. They're all making sure that the puck is protected coming out as a unit. Hartley taking a little skate to his right. He's going to turn to his right. That's where the face-off is, far side.
Earhart able to win that draw. Kicks back to the point. Toe save by Hartley. Here's Barrett. Steps up to center. Flips it into the offensive zone. Touched by the goaltender. McIntosh couldn't get there in time. Play comes to the near side. Raiders look to advance it. Tied up along the near boards as the Barons try to push it along that wing. It's walked out by Aldridge. Pass ahead to Lambert. Scott's there first. Scott trying to fight off the check. Able to skate out of trouble, and away he goes. He's got back pressure. Pass over to the far side. Maloney looked to drop it. McIntosh was trailing. Raiders able to get it out on that far side. Ripped into the Hanover end, off the end glass. Verbeek will pick it up. Verbeek on his near wing on the left side. Gets it up to center ice. Verbeek will fire it into the offensive zone. High stick touched the puck as McIsaac rolled over his man just as the whistle blew. Napanee's going to take exception. A little bit of a discussion. The linesmen drop in there and break everybody up. And looks like everything's going to be staying 5-on-5.
It was a high stick. The back official had his arm up for the high stick, so it was going to be blown down once it was touched. McIsaac didn't stop, finishes his check. The captain, Ben White, just having a quick conversation to the right of the net there, getting an explanation. Face off to the left of Vale, far side.
McIsaac line stays out. Top line for the Raiders on the ice. Here's McNeil with it and shoots it out of play, and they'll reset. Let's go down to Ryan Drury.
Yeah, JK, I agree with that. I mean, that's a good non-call. I know that the Raiders were upset with that McIsaac collision, but he did everything right there. He did everything you tell a hockey player to do. Play to the whistle. That was more on the linesman getting that whistle in late.
Play resumes here. Puck on the far boards. McGilvery trying to get back up on his skates. Napanee will pick up the play. Left side and into the Hanover zone. Patrick giving chase left in the corner. That's Carr working it, number 10, trying to get it back to the point. It gets through everybody, and now a foot race. McGilvery's chugging hard. Comes in, hits his man to the ice. Puck goes to the far side. There's Patrick. Support for McGilvery just wasn't there to keep the puck in. Here comes White on the near wing. He'll take a shot. That goes off a Hanover stick and bounces in the far corner. Knocked out by Hanover. That gets by McGilvery still with a little bit of juice, and he'll chase down Campbell. Campbell goes around his net, leaves it there for Case. He'll take a look. Pass up the near side. Puck stolen. Colhoun reaching for it. Swings it across far side. McGilvery gets pinned in along the boards by Cronus. Case able to pick up the puck. Active sticks by Hanover. Can't poke it away. And here comes White back the other way. White into the offensive zone. Drops it down low. Williams in behind the net. Taken care of by Duggan. And now Duggan can't find the puck. Has to go back to Verbeek around the net near side. Up ahead to Galutsin. He'll backhand it off the near boards, and it's back into Napanee territory. Raiders will play it to the far side. Napanee up ahead to Aylesworth. He's into the offensive zone. Pass to the middle for Cronus. Broken up play. Steered over to the near boards. Kept in by Napanee. Farlow's there to pick it up for the Barons. Skates it in front of the net. Pass out to the far side. A nice turn by Galbraith. That was impressive. Held up at the blue line, though. Looks to get the puck back. Here comes Farlow. Galbraith now goes to the forehand across. Down is Vale. And it's picked off by the Raiders. Nice little rush there by the fourth line of Hanover. Now they're on their heels. They got to get back. Danny Scott falls to the ice. Play comes to the near side. Picked up by Farlow. Off the boards and out to center. Napanee there to stop it in the neutral zone. And it's going to be Aylesworth again walking in. He'll get a shot. Steered away by Hartley. Williams able to keep it in the offensive zone. Scott steps up on Aylesworth, who comes up with the puck somehow. Takes a shot. Toe save with the left pad by Hartley again. And Galutsin gets it back to center ice. Now into Napanee territory. Vale left it there for his defenseman. Case will take a look. We've got 11.5 to go here in the first period, and we are scoreless in game 4. Play goes into the Hanover zone. Hartley comes out. Gives it a little bump. McIntosh on it, has the near wing. Now across to Maloney on the far side. They crisscross into the offensive zone. Back in behind the Napanee net. Earhart getting there first. Play comes to the near side. Jarman. He'll take a look. Cross ice pass goes to the far side. Barrett trying to steal the puck. Left it there for McIntosh. They can't get it in the offensive zone. Earhart again on the far side. Rips it high. That will be off the end glass. Howell will play it to the near side. Maloney took a poke at it. And stepping up on it is Barrett. They've got 2 out. 3 Raiders back. Barrett's high shot off the blocker of Vale. Howell's got to back up to center ice now. Dumps it back to Verbeek. He'll take a look in his own zone. Near side for Howell. Defenseman play catch. Carr trying to disrupt the rhythm. Howell back behind his own net now. And he waits for some reinforcements as the Barons make a couple of changes. Howell holds the puck patiently. Carr in no rush to forecheck, and now the Barons will skate it out. Up to center ice. Howell dumps it into the open far corner. Colhoun giving chase on his man quickly. White trying to play the puck on the near side. There's a crowd in the corner. Played out to the slot. It's the Raiders controlling, though, over to the far left wing now. They get out. Patrick trying to push his way through Dukeshire. Picked up by Verbeek. Swings it across, and here's McGilvery. Up the near wing, McGilvery. Colhoun going to the net. McGilvery waits. There's a shot that's off a leg. And Napanee can't clear McGilvery with the high shot off the end boards. Colhoun centering. That gets back to the blue line. Here's Verbeek. Far side, Scott. Cross ice, Dukeshire's shot. And that's off the pads of Vale. And out of play.
Yeah, some good pressure by the McGilvery line there. Dukeshire with the one-timer. It's Danny Scott goes diagonal, hits McGilvery, hits Dukeshire rather, and deflected out of play. It's a good shift, Steve, working hard. And Vale tested, It still can't get those pucks through 100% for the Barons. Face off to the right of Vale, near side.
Cronus drops it back. McNeil trying to play it around the net. Campbell supports, sends it up the near side, and here comes Aylesworth. Cross-ice pass behind his teammate Williams. But the puck lands into the Hanover zone anyway. Aylesworth cross-ice, look out. Cronus was trying to cut in on that far wing. Picks up the puck. His shot blocked by a leg. Curtis Arnold will jump on it in a hurry. Shoots it back out in front. The man left alone. They score! Aylesworth! Make it 1-0 Napanee.
That's Blake Aylesworth, the 20-year-old, left all alone in the blue paint. An ill-advised cross-ice pass doesn't make it right to the defenseman, the Raider. He just gets the puck through. Aylesworth all alone beats Hartley, and the Raiders get the opening goal of this game, Steve.
Coming past the midway point of the first period, and the all-important first goal to settle the nerves for the Napanee Raiders. Puck back to the blue line. Here's the control by Napanee up to center ice. Duggan will be forecheck. Lambert in deep. And now Hanover trying to pass it out. That was a missed opportunity there, and Napanee will control on their own end. Puck goes to the far side, picked up by Maloney. Maloney skating in, trying to stick handle his way through Aldridge, still with the puck. Left it there, back to the point. Here's Duggan. Duggan across to Waite. Waite's going to take a look. Throws it around the net. Here's the pass out in front. McIntosh. Barrett steps in. Duggan holds it in. Duggan across, and that hit an Napanee stick. Maloney was open for a millisecond on that near side, but Napanee read the situation. Puck dumped into the Hanover zone. Duggan will wait for the changes to step on the ice. Now it's Howell to pick it up. Pass to the near side. Barons have it set. It's going to be Farlow up to center. Farlow sends it into the offensive zone. Forecheck comes in. Galutson looks for a hit. Play comes near side. Howell keeps it in at the blue line. Galbraith on it quickly. Pass to the high slot. That's going to back up the D now. And here comes the Napanee attack. Patrick with it. Off a stick. And out of play. Let's go down to Ryan Drury.
Guys, the Barons have got to settle themselves down in their own zone. Napanee are coming out of their zone cleanly through neutral and right to the net at will. And the Barons surrender the first goal, a rare bad play from Curtis Arnold. And that's something that they got to get out. That's just a communication error. They got to settle themselves down. Napanee playing with a lot of swagger. Way too much east-west in the Barons game right now. They need a lot more north-south. Quick.
Face off near side in the Hanover zone. Cronus is going to be told to reset. Duggan rips it around the boards over to the far side. Here's Dukeshire. Dukeshire trying to get away. Up ahead, McGilvery's going to come in. Gets by Campbell. McGilvery on it in a hurry. Has to get to his forehand. In behind the net, Dukeshire can't pass it out to the front of the cage. Campbell unable to clear it, bouncing around in behind there. Dukeshire comes up with it somehow. Play left in the corner. McGilvery reached for it. Campbell on it now. He gives it off to McNeil. Now McNeil will try to stretch it up to Aylesworth. Goes into the Hanover zone. Howell on it right away. Going in behind the net, being chased by Williams. Look out, here comes Aylesworth. Big shot, rebound across. McGilvery will pick it up and give it to Duggan. And the Barons just didn't move that puck quick enough with a sense of urgency. Play goes to the far side. Kept in by McNeil. Dishes it off far boards. Pass back, McNeil rips it, and that's deflected wide of the net. In the air, McIsaac trying to chase it down. Williams tied up. Napanee finding their bus legs here. Play out of the zone, and Hanover's going to change. Pass up the middle. Williams on Duggan in a hurry. Duggan off the boards, and it bounces by everybody, and it's going to be picked up by McCary. Going to the net, Galbraith. McCary low and hard, but scooped up by Vale to stop the play.
Raiders on the road, Steve, are doing an excellent job pressuring at the right times. Barons look a little nervous in their own end. and they have to be careful 5 or 6 feet in front of Hartley. That's not a place you want to give up a puck. Barons have to settle down. Back in the Raiders zone, face off to the right of Logan Vale, near side.
Kick to the middle, McIntosh tries to throw it to the net. The Raiders just line up in a row, and that puck doesn't get through all the way back into the Hanover zone. Here's Scott. Puck taken away from him, centering pass picked off by Maloney, and Maloney will skate it out to center ice. Cuts it to the near side, into the corner. Case is there first. Play comes up the near wall. Barrett trying to get there. Puck is sent out to Lambert, and it's a partial breakaway. Lambert's shot goes blocker wide. Little bit of a loop up in the air, and that sprung Lambert as he skated to a spot and got a good chance. Here's Verbeek, fires it into the offensive zone. Puck around the Napanee net. White on the near side will play it right out. That's going to back up Duggan. Looking to send it up to McIntosh. His pass just too far for Farlow. Play out of the zone. Here's Barrett. Carr will send it over to the near side, and here comes to Hart into the offensive zone. Blocker save. Here's Carr again, tied up by Galbraith on the far side. Hanover trying to dig it out. Farlow took a swipe at it. Puck in feet. Still caught on the far boards, and someone's stick popped out of their hands. That was Carr. Shot from the point off a body and goes out of play.
On the forecheck, Steve, with the Hanover Barons, F1's getting in there, putting pressure. F2's got to be right behind him. What happened there was there was no pressure from F2 when Lambert had the breakaway, and all of a sudden the defenseman for the Raiders elevated the puck, caught the Barons D flat-footed on the blue line, and Lambert was all alone. So you need secondary pressure to make things happen. Face off to the right of Hartley, far side.
Play goes along the end boards. Here's Scott trying to fight off the forecheck. Napanee stepping it up here. Played by Colhoun. Pass ahead through center. Too far for McGilvery. Aylesworth has it in over the blue line. In comes Aylesworth. Fires it wide. Far side kept in at the blue line. Dump in behind the net. Centering pass knocked away by the Barons. Look out as Dukeshire and Hartwick met. And it's going to be Hartley making the save. Dukeshire turned to speed out of the zone, and there was the Hartwick wall right there.
Yeah, you want to talk about gapping up. That's Hartwick meeting Dukeshire on the exit. Kaboom. Puck stays in. Hartley with the glove save. A little reset for the Barons on their own end. Face off to the right of Hartley. Far side.
Face off win, but White was knocked down, and here comes Barrett. Pass across to McIntosh into the zone. His pass doesn't get through. Drop pass, and Barons off to reset. Here's Howell. Backs it off over to Duggan. He'll take a step up to center ice and dump it into the offensive zone. Right in on Vale. Campbell there to scoop it up off his goaltender. Play goes to the far side, and it's going to be bumped out. Duggan there to stop that rush. Sent right back into the Napanee end. Play comes in behind the net. Back to the near corner. McIntosh will get it out. Drops it to Howell. Feeds it across to Duggan. Duggan takes a look. And that shot deflected, and the Raiders are going to get it out down the ice. And here comes White. Lots of energy for the captain. Duggan, nice little poke check onto him, but who does he have to feed it out? He'll just throw it to neutral ice. Here's McIntosh, makes a move. McIntosh into the zone, quick shot, and that's wide. He was going to go off for a change, but the puck was right there for the taking. Here's McCary in the zone. Play into the corner. McIsaac reaches for it. McIntosh will circle over to try to cut off the outlet, but the play moves up the ice. White on the near side, lets it go into the Hanover end. Scott back to play it. Has some company. Play comes to the near side. And up ahead to Curtis Arnold. Arnold to center, throws it into the offensive end, but that's going to be icing. Just didn't reach the middle of the ice. 2:45 left to go in the first period. 1-0 for Napanee.
Good vibe here so far. Good crowd. They're still filing into the P&H Center. Expecting a big crowd Sunday when we make the trip to Napanee again, Steve. And just been an exciting series. the other semifinal, it's exciting as well. I think Essex is up 2-1. They have their game tonight too.
Well, updates for you on the out-of-town scoreboard. Here's Aldridge, his shot, and that's going to be saved by Hartley. Face-off will stay in the Hanover zone. Puck put to the corner. Picked up by Williams. Centering pass in the slot. Whistled wide. Grade A chance for Napanee there on that one. Here comes Galbraith up the far wall. He stopped at the blue line. McIsaac gets pinned. Now Galutson back to pick it up. Here's Duggan. Hanover will slow it down in their own zone. Verbeek now will pick up the pace. Takes a look. Cross ice to Galbraith. Has a step. He's into the zone. Galutson go to the net. Galbraith slowed up. Galutson with the play. There's a shot. Scores! Galutson!
You know what? He's in the corner. He gets his head up below the goal line. He's thinking pass right away. And all of a sudden, what does Eric Galutson from Walton, Ontario do? Low, hard, beats Logan Vale, that far post and in, and the Hanover Barons are on the board, Steve.
Well, that's one you like to get, Johnny K, late in the first period.
A little bit of secondary scoring for Brady Anderson here today, and that's Eric Galutson adding to the tally, and we're all tied up at 1.
Play pushed back into the Napanee zone off the draw. Raiders trying to set the drive up through the neutral zone. Will come up the near right wing. Into the Hanover end, goes to the far side. Carr drops it off. Patrick tried to cut to the net. It's going to be covered up by Hartley for the face-off in the Hanover end.
Yeah, the crowd's buzzing here in Hanover. And Galutson tying it up as Hartley takes a drink of water. We'll have a face-off deep in the Hanover Baron zone to the right of Derek Hartley. Last second changes here. White, the captain for the Raiders. Here we go.
Maloney will have to give way to Barrett for the face-off. Update at the Allen Cup semifinal. It's Wentworth Griffin still leading the Minto 81s 4-1. And that's a semifinal game there. Scott in behind his own net, trying to throw it around to the far side, cut down. White now along the end boards. Maloney gets into the mix. Scott trying to peel away with the puck, and it's poked loose. Gets back to the blue line, though. Napanee keeps it in towards the net. Look out! That was tipped. Hartley didn't see it. Luckily, the puck caught the part of the pad there. It was a trickler. Puck back to the near point. Campbell able to keep it in. Play comes to the corner. Big hit by Howell as he lays out his man. Last minute of play in the first period. Napanee on the attack. Here's Carr through traffic. That hit a body. Scott trying to fight off White. McIntosh is there. And now the puck is poked loose. Kept in by Carr. Now Howell intercepts a pass, and it's up ahead to McIntosh. Trying to out wheel McNeil there. Play comes to the near side. Napanee able to get it out again. They come up through center ice, fired into the Hanover zone. 30 seconds left in the period. Verbeek will settle it down. Up ahead to McGilvery on the near wing. McGilvery to center. Throws it into the offensive zone. Here comes Dukeshire. McGilvery was dumped away from the play. It will continue. Duggan just outside the blue line. Couldn't dump it into the Napanee zone. Look out. Here comes Lambert. Lambert shot blocker save. The rebound gets through. And here's McGilvery, but not a lot of time left on the clock. He's being covered by Case as they go into the corner. Napanee wanted to call on that. Buzzer goes, and we're going to get a how's she doing, and that could draw a penalty with the hit to the head.
McGilvery and Case have an epic battle down towards the goal line, and then it might be Eric McNeil with the head contact. We'll see how it plays out. Exciting finish to the first period, Steve.
Yeah, 1-1 the score to end the first 20 minutes. And we'll get set to go down to Ryan Drury as he's at the Napanee door. His first intermission guest will be the captain of the Raiders, number 19, Ben White. But what a fast and furious first period. And let's go down to Ryan Drury.
Guys, I'm down here with the Napanee captain, Ben White. Ben, you've had a tremendous playoff run so far, 24 points, none bigger than those two on Sunday at home. What is it about the line you're playing on that's allowing you to have so much success?
They're two really great players. They're very fast, which keeps me get my feet moving a little bit more than I'm used to. But they're great players. They see the ice well, and we work well together. And I couldn't ask for better line mates. I feel like we're one of the top lines in Ontario, and I guess it sees in some of the plays, but I couldn't do it without them every single play.
Well, you certainly play like you're one of the top lines in Ontario. As the leader of this team, what is it about the way this team plays that has gotten you to this point and maybe even further?
Just with our coaching staff and every guy on this team, everybody buys into every single system that we have, and we adapt well to teams, and every team plays so much different. Hanover's a very fast team, not exactly what we're completely used to, but we've adapted well, and it's due to our coaches and the players willing to adapt to those plays and, shut teams down.
You're a Napanee kid. What does it mean to you to be wearing the C for your hometown team?
It's everything. It's a lot. It's a really cool experience. Been here for a long time, and I've always felt like a leader growing up, especially. And it's funny training these kids when they were younger, and now I'm the captain of them. It's kind of cool, and it's a great experience.
Well, it's great watching you guys play. Best of luck in the second. Thanks for doing this.
All right, thank you so much.
Guys.
Ben White, captain of the Napanee Raiders, and definitely a force to be reckoned with. Hanover Barons, Napanee Raiders tied at 1 after the first 20. It's Game 4 of the Schmaltz Cup semifinals. You're listening to OHA Hockey on CKNX, brought to you by Cleaning Depot by PBJ, more than just cleaning supplies. Back here in Hanover, first intermission, Barons and Napanee Raiders tied at 1 in Game 4 of the Schmaltz Cup semifinals. Johnny K.
Yeah, 10:45, Blake Aylesworth left all alone, the assist to Campbell. That was Napanee's first goal. And then 17:58, late in the period, Eric Galutzin from Walton, Ontario, comes out of the corner, low to high, he shoots low, puts it in. We're all tied up at 1.
Ryan, Napanee takes a penalty at the 20-minute mark. Hanover's starting on the power play.
Yeah, and they got to take advantage of that and find some legs from that late momentum goal, because I'll be honest, I won't mince words, guys, because I know Brady Anderson won. I thought that was the worst period the Hanover Barons have played in probably a month. Probably since they lost Game 2 to the Fergus Whalers in the Pollock Division final. That period was not Barons hockey. They got to knuckle down and get themselves going here.
Johnny K., we were told that the fourth line would spot in. What do you think of the rotation?
You know what? It was good. They got about 3 or 4 shifts. What does that do? Kind of a pressure valve, right? The top 6, their legs, they might need them later in the game. You want to make sure that everyone contributes, and I like that the fourth line's getting some minutes here in the first. We'll see what happens in the second. Steve.
Bostek Mechanical power play here to start things off for the Barons. An update from the Allen Cup, Johnny K. The Minto 81s finding some scoring touch here as they jumped on the board with 3 goals.
Yeah, we're getting the updates from Kincardine Bulldog GM Warren Beisel. We got the 5-2, then 5-3, then 5-4. So we're not exactly sure how much time's left, but Mintos are not done just quite yet.
Face off at center ice, and away we go. Barons skating left to right, Napanee right to left. And puck sent into the Hanover zone. It was Aldridge with the roughing call, so he's in the box. Here comes the power play unit for Hanover, thrown up the gut. Here comes Howell. He snuck through, shot, save, rebound, and they just can't get there. As Vale covered up the puck, the whistle went. And a Napanee player knocked it out of his own goaltender's glove, but everything's okay. But oh my, somehow Drayton Howell got him behind the lineup.
Yeah, the 21-year-old from Owen Sound, Ontario, left side, turns on the Jets. Vale had to be sharp. Face off to his left, Steve. Near side as Kyle Maloney gets tossed from the face-off dot. It'll be Sam Barrett trying to win it back.
Minute 40 left of the power play, and the puck will scoot by the defense, and they'll have to retreat all the way back into their own zone. Again, this Napanee penalty-killing unit has been extraordinary here in this semifinal series, not giving the Barons a whole lot of opportunity. Puck into the offensive zone, stolen away, and White will just dump it down as a busted entry didn't work. Here's McGilvery on the near side as Hartley trying to get things started, and dumped into the corner. Case will race back for it, hammers it, and that will scoot its way all the way down the ice. So a minute left of the power play for Hanover. That was one of the keys to the game from you, Johnny K, here earlier on this evening. The power play had to get their legs moving, and so far they've been snuffed out. Here comes Scott up to the blue line, dumped into the offensive zone. Scott along the end boards. Arnold trying to look for it, picked up by Napanee, and it'll get by Dukeshire. And Galbraith has to race back. Patrick on him, trying to leave it there for Dukeshire. Stolen by Patrick, but it was rolling on him, and all he could do was go to the corner with it, trying to tie it up down low. Barons will work it out, and now it's going to be a last rush here for the Barons. Scott with it to the blue line, up ahead to Dukeshire on the near right side. He comes in with a bit of speed, dumps it behind the net, trying to play the bounce, and Galbraith's pass, nobody was home. That's going to do it. Power play will end here. Napanee ready to go back to full strength. Scott spins away from a forechecker, still with the puck. That's Lambert in deep, and now give it off to Calhoun. Here comes number 4. Calhoun comes in, shot off the blocker of Vale, steered over to the far side. Kept in by Galutzin, trying to find somebody in front of the net. Nobody was there, and we have a whistle as the net came off. So that will stop the play. Face off of the Napanee end.
The Raiders school the Barons. Start of the period on the PK. Can't get no sustained pressure. Barron tries to carry it in, no exit. Soft dump, Raider beats them, exits. They got to get down to the fine fundamentals. I don't know, it's a word I just made up. You know what I'm trying to say. Face off to the left of Vale, near side, Steve.
Face off won by Napanee. Here's McNeil. He'll take a look at the near side, and that'll be helped out by Lambert. Chases Howell all the way back into his own zone. Howell fights off a check. Plays the puck to the far side. McGilvery flips it up. Lambert knocked it down with a hand, but McGilvery gets it back up through center ice. Can't carry it into the offensive zone. Howell will just dump it in. And now Campbell will pick it up for Napanee. In behind his own net to the far side. Earhart off the wall, and it's up ahead to Williams. Williams will take a step in. Quick shot saved by Hartley. Play comes around to the near side. McNeil stepped in, held the puck in the offensive zone on his backhand to the far side. Trying to go for the forehand, poked away from him. Played back to the blue line, kept in. Wired into the open corner. Duggan plays it to the near wall. Earhart trying to poke it away. McIntosh gets his stick involved. Tied up along the near boards. And picked up by McIntosh, trying to speed away. Fights off a check. Somehow gets it into the offensive zone on a sliding play. Tied up in the corner. Napanee retrieves the play. And it's going to be the Napanee Raiders up the ice. Shot through traffic, and Hartley will glove that down.
Raiders come in on the left side. Just a quick little snapshot. Hartley snaps it. And impressed with the Raiders on their breakout, Steve. They're using the weak side well, entering the zone. Face off deep in the Baron zone. It's to the right, 19-year-old Derek Hartley, near side.
Puck comes back to Hartwick. Can't keep it in. Play comes up the near side. Hanover can't pump it in too deep. Picked up by Dukeshire, though, looking for some assistance. High shot on the short side. Easily stopped by Vale. Not a lot of room out there, Johnny K, to move around.
Yeah, there's not. Even though the ice surface here is NHL regulation, even a fellow like myself would struggle to find room out there to make plays happen, Steve.
16:05 left to play here in the second period, all tied up at 1. Barons unable to take advantage of a Bostic mechanical power play to start period number 2. Linesman settles everything down. Face-off won by Napanee. Carr just hammers it out of the zone, and Howell will pump it right back in. Comes back up the near wall. McGilvery picks it up to the corner. Centering pass out in front. McIntosh skating by. Howell with the shot, and Vale was just in front of it. Kind of had his head turned, but was able to make the save.
Yeah, the initial shot, rebound went right to Drayton Howell. Quick shot. Vale popped out of the blue paint. Butterfly makes the save. And a couple shots for the Barons early in the period here. Face off to the right of Vale, far side.
Napanee will start from their own end. Aldridge taking a look. And now makes a short pass to Carr. Far side at the blue line. Chipped in. And Howell was able to read the pass and intercepted it. Barons will move it the other way. Here comes Kyle Maloney. Up ahead to Danny Scott. Scott trying to send it across, hit the skates of Maloney, and now they got to get back. Patrick racing into the offensive zone. He'll hammer it. Toe saved by Hartley. Picked up by White. In behind the net. Look out. Pass out in front. Backhand. Saved by Hartley. Carr trying to keep it in. Maloney comes in. Gives White a push. And now the puck skips over to the near side. And flipped in the air out of the zone as Hanover tries to relieve some pressure. Play goes deep into the Napanee end. Aldridge. Pass up ahead to Patrick. He's got White trailing. Puck goes to White, takes a look, cross ice, far side, out in the slot. White from his knees, and stick save by Hartley on the weak backhand. McIsaac will put it into the offensive zone. He gives chase. Back is McNeil to pick up the puck, and now he'll fire it up the near wing. Duggan trying to cut that down and able to get a piece of it, and it's back into the Napanee end. Here comes McIsaac on the forecheck. Followed up by Galbraith, but the puck squeezes over to the near side. Cronus takes a rattle, gets the puck out of the zone, though, and down into Hanover territory. Play deep in Hanover's end. Verbeek trying to fight off the attacker, and the pass goes by Campbell all the way down the length of the ice, and Vale's going to come out and play this one. Galbraith coming in. Vale feeds it over to the far corner. Swift to the near side. Look out. McIsaac with the shot. Missed low. McCary trying to get to it. Poked away from him. And here comes the Napanee attack going the other way. In over the Hanover blue line. Far side. Quick shot. Blocker saved by Hartley. In the corner. Picked up by the Raiders. Back to the far point. Good read there. Off the end boards. Slap pass for Williams. He's tied up. In deep. Cronus able to get it back to the far side. Hartwick with the shot. Look out. Tipped right into the pads of Hartley. And he's able to stay with it.
Hartwick gets the shot through. It bounces about 5 feet before it gets to Hartley. He had to be sure. Bounces right into his chest as he was in the butterfly. And Williams with the extra tap. Why not? The puck was lying there. And Verbeek didn't like it, but no call. That's all right. A little rough, tough hockey in the blue paint. If you're going to stay there, you're going to pay the price. 13:33 left here. We're at the P&H Center. I'm John Pulius. My good friend Steve Sadman to my right. Face off to the right of Hartley, near side.
Steered to the near boards. Played up the wing. Colhoun trying to, or check that. That was Dukeshire trying to work his way through. Here's Barrett trying to jump his way in. Looks like Hanover's kind of regrouped their lines a little bit here. Lambert on the near wing, and he'll throw this in. Tip, no icing. Scott will play it to the far side. Earhart read that. He'll be able to sweep it back into the corner. Here's Scott again. Jarman trying to make his life a little more challenging there in the defensive zone. Scott tripped up. Here's Jarman. Play comes over to the near wall. Duggan coming up to the near side, trying to chip it out of the offensive zone. Can't do it. Raiders swarm the puck carrier. Jarman trying to dig it out. Now it's worked loose, and it's going to be Dukeshire with it up the near wall. 2 men on him. Pushed ahead. Here comes Colquhoun. He'll take a look. Quick shot. And a blocker save by Vail. There's a shot the side of the net. Van Sot that was punched in. Hit the far side of the twine. Play goes into the corner. That creates a little bit of a buzz. Puck tied up. Still loose though. Both teams working to get it out of the crowd. Dukeshire to Colquhoun. A quick shot. Rebound. And Barrett. His momentum just carried him too far near side. He gets by Duggan. And now it's picked up at center ice. Colquhoun again with it. Trying to be shifty. He's into the offensive zone. Colquhoun. Where's his help? Colquhoun's shot goes wide. Comes back to the near side. Duggan, can he put it on net? No. Waits. Trying to feed it down low in the corner. Gets tied up. Now able to keep it in deep. Galutzin's going to give chase. Big number 27 goes into the far boards. Arnold there in support. 3 Raiders jump into the charge though. White and Earhart. Earhart will come up with the play. Number 67. He'll feed it off the near wall to center ice. Duggan will chop it down and flip it right back in. Napanee backing up in their own zone. And that's going to be cleared down the ice, and this is going to be icing. Let's go down to Ryan Drury.
Well, a way better response from the Barons after another shaky start to the period where they couldn't get that power play going. And guys, you know how power plays are. Sometimes they just come and go. It's like my commitment to diets. It just doesn't work sometimes, and they have done a good job of just keeping with it here. They've had a way better response, and their forecheck has improved tenfold in this period.
Face-off win by Hanover. They'll kick it. McIntosh to the far corner, trying to feed it to Maloney. McGilvery on this line now. Puck goes to the far corner. Maloney and McIntosh trying to work it out against 3 Raiders, and now pinned up along the boards. 11:08 left to play here in the second period, all tied at 1. Update from the Allen Cup. Minto 81s have pulled to within 1, Johnny K. 5-4 at the end of 2.
Yeah, 5-4 after 2. I thought that game was late in the third, so there's time for the Minto 81s here. Big third coming up for them.
Face off to the far side in the Napanee zone. Maloney will take the draw against Carr. Kick back to McIntosh. Quick shot right on Vail. And he'll be able to scoop it up as it dribbled off his pads.
Little set play there. Mark McIntosh on the left boards. Maloney wins the draw behind him. McIntosh sneaks in. Quick shot. Dale had to be ready. Another rinse and repeat. Face off to the right. Far side.
This time the puck kicked below the goal line, and it's going to be Aldridge picking it up. Being watched by Maloney. Pass to the far wing, up the ice quickly, tipped in by White. Hartley's going to settle it down. Howell coming back to pick it up. Backhands it up the near side. Patrick was waiting for it. It snuck through him. Lucky for the Barons. Here's Scott with it. Feeds it up far side, gets by McGilvery through center, back to the Napanee blue line. Case on the near wing. We'll take a look. Stretch pass far side. White was sitting there. They get it to Carr. He's going to step in. Scores! Surgical precision above the blocker of Hartley. And it's a 2-1 lead, Napanee.
Yeah, that's Andrew Carr, the 20-year-old from Ottawa, Ontario. Gets the puck just inside the blue line, lifts his head. And like you said, Steve, goes blocker high in Hartley. Raiders with a 2-1 lead with 10:29 left here at the P&H Center, second period.
That breakout play, Ben White somehow found a spot over at the far blue line, and that was a 2-line pass, JK, to start that rush.
Yeah, a little bit of a set play, knew what they were doing. Raiders with their second goal of the night.
Play comes back to the near boards. Here's Duggan. Sends it across to Verbeek. He'll take a look. Up ahead, tipped into the offensive zone. McCary giving chase on McNeil. Play comes to the near side. McIsaac trying to cut it down. Gets tied up on the near boards. Raiders will pick it up. McNeil sends it across. And it's going to be ripped in to the Hanover end. Play comes to the near side. Raiders keep it in. McNeil pass to the far post. And that was just knocked away from Aylesworth. Play on the far side. Here comes a quick shot saved by Vail, who takes a little bit of a snow. And I think we're going to get an unsportsmanlike here. Are they going to send 2? Could just be 1. It's going to be, I think McIsaac's going to go off for the snow job there, Johnny K.
McCary came in hard and hot to that low corner below the goal line. And you're right, McIsaac comes in late with the old snow plow, and it's Flood, the referee, 5 feet away, makes the call. Unsportsmanlike, not a penalty you want to take, Steve, when you're down a goal here. But needless to say, we're back in the Barron zone to our left. Face-off to the right of Hartley, near side. The Raiders are on the Boss Tech Mechanical power play.
Puck dribbles in on Hartley, and he'll make the save. So 9:50 to play here in the second period, and the Raiders have just taken a 2-1 lead. Puck goes to the far side, and a penalty kill here for the Barons. White keeps it in at the near point. Walks it in, drops it down low. White reaches for it. Colhoun will try to tie it up. Kicks loose, back to McNeil. Swung across far side. Here's Case out in front. Little soft pass, trying to get it into the feet of the crowd. There's another shot. That's tipped away. Patrick on it in a hurry. Comes back to the point. McNeil taking a look. Puck goes to the far side for Case. Case holds on. His shot rips wide, and that's going to ricochet out of the zone down the length of the ice.
Case with the shot from the right side. You have to hit the net. He ripped it right around. McNeil starting in his own end again.
Here comes White on the near wing. Pass ahead, looking for Aylesworth. Knocked down by McGilvery, and they'll get it out over the blue line. Case will scoop it up at center ice. McNeil on the near side. Across, that went off a boot, and it's going to be back into the Napanee end. 50 seconds left on the Bostic Mechanical power play for Napanee. McNeil into the offensive zone, cutting to the middle, intercepted, and McGilvery will send it down the ice. Back to pick it up is Earhart. He'll take a couple of steps ahead, skates it up through center ice. Here's Earhart doing the work by himself, gets tangled up with Duggan. Puck sitting loose on the far side. Here's Cronus trying to get it to the net. Scott steers it to the far side, and Duggan and Earhart with a little bit of a meeting. Play on the far wall. Williams keeps it in deep. Play goes over to the far corner. Back to Williams. He'll take a look, pass out in front, and it's going to be kicked back to the blue line. Here's a shot through traffic, gloved down by Hartley. 1 second left on the penalty.
A little bit of extracurricular down low. I think it was Earhart and Duggan. No whistle on the play. That's all right. Hartwick with the shot from the point. Hartley sees it all the way with 1 second left in the power play. 7:53 left in the period. It's the Napanee Raiders with a 1-goal lead. Face off to the left of Derek Hartley, far side.
Isaac out of the box. Hanover able to kill it off. Play goes back to the middle. Colhoun will kick it in. Dukeshire's on it in a hurry. Bad angle though. Drop pass to Barrett. That didn't connect, and now Aldridge will set up behind his own net. 7.5 to play in the second period. Raiders with the 2-1 lead. Play off the near wall into the Hanover zone. This could go for icing. No, waved off, picked up by Verbeek. Played back to the near side. Howell's going to step up on it. Howell looks for the outlet. Up ahead to Dukeshire. Into the offensive zone. Pass back to Colhoun. They're in. Quick shot down low. Looking for a rebound. Play comes up the near left wing, and away goes Lambert. Play back to center ice. McNeil couldn't handle it, and in comes Colhoun and Dukeshire. Dukeshire taking a step. He's got backside pressure. Drop back. Scores! Sam Barrett! We're tied at 2.
Sam Barrett, the Owen-Sound, Ontario native, rips it blocker side high. It was Dukeshire and Calhoun being persistent about 5 feet inside the blue line. Then a bit of a touch, reaching out with your stick, push the puck right to Sam Barrett's stick. No mistake. We're all tied up at 2, Steve.
This time it hit crossbar and in. So the Barons have tied things up. 7 minutes left to go here in the second period. Pass up the gut. McNeil kicks it to the corner. Maloney coming in, trying to fight off the defender. picked off by McGilvery, bounces to the side of the net. McNeil will play it around. Patrick comes up on the near side, trying to feed it up. Here comes Carr. Carr into the offensive zone, makes a nice move. Carr's in deep, look out. And Hartley's gonna cover that one up and slow things down.
Steve, what do we talk about? The shift after a goal either way. You have to be ready. Can't allow the Raiders just to fly through right to the blue paint. Hartley makes the save. Face-off's going to be in the Barons zone to the right of Hartley, near side.
Back into the corner. Out in front, Hartley with a little poke check there to keep it away. Here's McGilvery. Watched by Carr, now flip through center. Hartwick will step up on it. Gilvery with a nice poke check there, forcing the Napanee defense back. Play comes to the near wall. McIntosh trying to dig it loose. Two players falling to the ice. Play goes back the other way. Far wall, and Carr knocks it down with a hand. Duggan will step into it. Maloney will play it up to McIntosh. Quick hands. McIntosh has visitors though. Play goes over to the far side. McGilvery kicks it to the corner. White on McIntosh. Maloney trying to pick it up. He does. He'll send it back to the point. Here's Duggan. Swings it across to Scott. Scott floats it towards the net. There's an open shot. Oh, and Maloney taken down just as he was trying to shoot it. And he's going to go off the ice. Play goes into the Napanee zone. Raiders will pick it up. Hartwick on the near side. Skates it up to center ice. Can't shoot it in cleanly. Second opportunity as Patrick puts it in. Duggan back to play it for the Barons. He'll hold on to it for a moment and take a look. Barons come back. Duggan with it. He'll carry out the offense. Sends it across to Danny Scott. Gets to center. Rolling puck is fired into the offensive zone. Vale had trouble with it. Play in around the net. Galbraith sends it back to Waite, and it goes through his feet. So Hanover's got to reset. Here's Howell. Rips it back into the offensive zone. Galbraith will give chase. It's kept in deep. McIsaac has an angle. And behind the net, McIsaac fights through. Kicks it back to the point. Here's Howell. His shot blocked. Gets it back, though. Another shot comes through, and it dribbles in on Vale. Let's go down to Ryan Drury.
Guys, the Barons are doing a much better job of generating consistent offense, and they're doing it because they've gotten rid of that east-west in their game. A lot more north-south like I wanted to see in the first, and that last play, another scoring chance, is a picture-perfect example. Low to high, good pressure, down low below the dots. They get it up to Howell. He rifles it. First one blocked, sticks with it, gets one through, and that nearly dribbled home.
There's another shot from Howell. That's blocked. Barron's trying to find it. Picked up by Williams. Sends it out of the zone. Play goes to the far wing, and that's going to back up the Raiders again in their own end. Here's Case. He'll take a look. Case fires it up to the far side. Again, that stretch pass at the far blue line. Barron's a little more aware of that one. Play to the slot. Look out. Bouncing puck. Where is it? Comes to the near side. There's a shot. Williams try to sneak one in on Hartley. Play comes to the near wall. Dukeshire will drive it up the near side. Maloney couldn't help it out. Here's Waite. Plays it to the near corner. Howell takes a shoulder. Play comes to the near side again. And the Napanee Raiders cutting down that avenue. Now an opportunity to move. It's Dukeshire. On the near wing, flips it into the offensive zone. Stick and a glove on the ice. Looks like a
yard sale out there.
Yard sale. A play comes to the near side. Williams able to put the puck into the Hanover end. 3:40 left to play here in the second period, tied at 2. Verbeek holds on to it for a moment, and now Duggan will skate by him. Verbeek still with the puck, and he'll wait for the breakout signal, and away they go. Verbeek takes a look, comes to the near side. It's going to be moved up to Maloney into the offensive zone. Drop pass for McIntosh, looking for a shot, but Raiders get their sticks involved and 3 sprint out. Here comes Lambert into the zone, takes a look, drop pass, Earhart, his shot, and that's nowhere near the mark. Puck goes to the far side, transition. McGilvery chips it, and McIsaac giving chase. He cuts into it, trying to center it. Look out, McIsaac taken down hard. Slow to get up off the end boards, and he looks to be a little sore. Play goes into the Hanover zone. Earhart towards the net. Look out, dribbles through some feet. Duggan with it again, and now the pass up ahead. Farlow's going to give chase. Farlow into the offensive zone with a little bit of gusto. Galbraith will cut around. kicks it back far side. Hanover will play it over to the near wall. Duggan won't be able to get it towards the net. All he can do is dump it in behind the cage. Farlow chasing it down, centering pass. McCary was coming in, and the pass was too hot to handle. Here's Patrick. Nice little Houshey doing a quick shot. Whistled that wide, and McCary up at the blue line to try to get it in the zone. He does pass up ahead into a crowd. Here's Carr with it now on the far side. Opening up here in the latter stages of the second period. On it is McCary. Into an offside. Farlow just couldn't hold on to that blue line. 2:06 left in the second, tied at 2.
Tell you what, when Michael Patrick gets the puck with speed, the kid's dangerous. Nice little move, just can't beat Hartley there. Back and forth action, a fourth line contribution by Brady Anderson's team, and just working pucks low. Good flow to this game, Steve. Things are opening up, and we're all tied up with 2. 2:06, face off just outside the Raiders zone, near side as McIsaac is heading to the dressing room. Looks like he hurt his shoulder. He'll be looked after here right away.
Yeah, went hard along those end boards. Hope to see him come back, but play fired into the Napanee zone. Vale will play it there, and it's going to be Hartwick to move it out. Fed up the middle, giveaway. Here's McIntosh. All he can do is send it to the far corner. Maloney kicks it back. McGilvery shot, and into Vale, had his stick hooked, and didn't get all of that one. Vale able to make the save.
Yeah, Maloney low finds Alex McGilvery in the slot. Quick shot. Vale with the save. And a robust crowd here in Hanover. It's hard to hear at times, Steve. Face-off's going to be to the right of Logan Vale, far side.
Kick back to the far point. Scott able to keep it in. Sam Barrett makes a move, trying to find some open ice. Kick down low. Here's Dukeshire. Case on it quickly for Napanee. Play back to the point. Scott's backhand just didn't keep it in deep enough, and Cronus now will back it up. Aldridge in behind his net, feeds it to an open wing. Cronus gets there first, and now it's going to be moved out by the Raiders as Aylesworth tried to send it in, but it's going to be offside against Napanee this time.
Minute 17 left in the period. You want to be careful, bench management. Have your top lines out there, defensively sound. You never want to go into the period giving up a late goal. Play smart. That's the Johnny K way. I just made that up. Sounds pretty good, though.
It does.
Yeah.
It rhymes, too. The K way.
Yeah.
Here's Scott over his own blue line, up to center ice. Dumps it into the corner. Maloney trying to chase it down. Got spun around. Play comes to the near side, and the Raiders will get it back through center ice. And last minute of play here in the second. Howell to pick it up. Sends it up to Maloney. Off his stick, and Raiders will sweep it back into the Hanover zone. Hartley will settle it down. Play on the near side. Fed across to an open wing, and nobody from the Barons wants to receive a pass here in the last few seconds. McIntosh trying to keep it down low. Maloney will pick it up. Puts on the brakes behind the net, and we'll just hold it there for a moment. A little bit of a head fake up ahead to Danny Scott. McGilvery gets it into the offensive zone. Spins away from a check, kicks it back. Blast from the point. That's going to be gloved down by Vale. 8.8 seconds to ride out here in the second period.
It was the Raider posting up in the 1-2-2, and he wants Maloney to go out the other side on his backhand, but Maloney doesn't budge. Head fake, head fake. It was the fourth one. Gets the pass to the player on the right wall of the exit zone. 8.8 seconds left. Look for something, Steve, like a back, quick pass shot.
Face-off win back to Howell. He gets it through. They score! Was that tipped in front?
Kyle Maloney from Waterloo, Ontario. I'm sure Grandma Carol back home is listening in Cornwall. That's a big goal for the hometown Barons. Could have been a tip out front. Maloney wins the draw. It goes D to D. Howell. Once Maloney wins the draw, he heads to the blue paint, a little tip city, and the Barons get a late one here in the second period.
That is huge. 8.8 seconds, face off the offensive zone, and they score. So that will ride out the period as the Hanover Barons will get back into the dressing room with a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, a couple goals. That late one sure going to help. Attention to detail. Big third coming up. I think Ryan has an interview with someone, and he's on the ice. So it's going to be Sam Barrett from Owen Sound, Ontario.
Well, Sam, we warned you that we wanted to talk to you before the game, and we kind of jokingly said, hopefully it's after a goal. Well, it is after a goal. Walk me through that play on a beautiful shot.
Well, it was a good zone entry. Dookie found me out front, and I just ripped her.
Pretty good play, and maybe we have to make this a regular thing. I don't know how superstitious you are. Walk me through that play. What a play by Maloney. Howell at the point, just a seeing eye shot and a great tip. That line does so much damage for your team. What was that like seeing that go in from the bench?
Well, that was awesome to see us get that third goal, bring us up top, take over that lead. We got to carry that into the third period.
What's it like playing in this series, man? It looks like a track meet at times, and then all of a sudden it looks like a trench warfare series. What's it like as, a guy that's counted on to fill a lot of minutes out there? What's it like playing in this series?
Well, I mean, we're down to the Final Four. Every night's a battle. We got to bring it every game. No easy night. No easy night, really. We bring it every night, and don't let off the gas pedal.
Well, you're not doing that. I'm tired just watching you. Congrats on another great. Some rest.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sam Barrett, number 18 of the Hanover Barons, contributing there in period number 2. It's a 3-2 lead. Barons over the Raiders after 40 minutes. More to come. You're listening to OHA Hockey on CKNX, brought to you by Cleaning Depot by PBJ. More than just cleaning supplies. Lead for the Hanover Barons over the Napanee Raiders after 40 minutes, and what was a fast-paced second period, Johnny K.
Yeah, it sure was, Steve. Lots of excitement. Scoring starts 9:31. Andrew Carr assists to White and Case. 13 minutes flat. Sam Barrett, Calhoun, and Dukeshire with the assists. And then with 8.8 seconds left, Kyle Maloney with the tip out front. Barons have a 3-2 lead after 2.
And Ryan, you had a great view of both those Hanover goals, the Sam Barrett snipe and the Kyle Maloney tipping.
Yeah, and I mean, let's talk about Barrett's first. I was kind of joking about it with him when I was chatting with him at the end of the period. Almost a mirror image of the Carr goal. Coming in, blocker side, gets it on his forehand and just doesn't take any time with it, just rips it high blocker side. Just two elite shots. The one at the end of the period there, that's just the Barons finally waking up after a lackluster first period and playing big boy hockey in front of the opposition's net. You can't go into an area like that right in front of a goaltender and expect to not take punishment. Maloney did. Howell with a great shot, knee high, no higher, just a soft wrister in, and Maloney with an all-timer tip.
Better pushback by the Barons, Johnny K.
Yeah, they push back. They have a period to go. Raiders are going to have something to say about it. Their goal all night is to be within a shot. They're within a shot, looking for a great third period coming up here at the P&H Center.
Raiders will attack left to right. Hanover Barons will attack right to left here in period number 3. And this crowd is not going anywhere here on a Friday night. Just a reminder, Game 5 goes Sunday in Napanee, 6 o'clock puck drop. And the trio of us will be making the trip up there and bring you all of the action from game number 5. But we have to get through this one, and the Barons will line up with Maloney, McIntosh, and McGilvery, and it's going to be Carr, White, and Patrick for the Raiders to start this third period. Here comes Maloney up the middle, over to McGilvery near side, quickly on Vale, and that'll force the goaltender to hold on to that one. Face off for the Napanee end.
Barons with the transition into the zone. Quick little shot. And another face-off. McIntosh on the wall. Look for Maloney and McIntosh walkabout. See what happens here.
Face-off win. McGilvery, a turnaround shot. Vale aware and makes the glove save right off the face-off. And that's one thing, Johnny K, that throughout this series, the Barons have been very good on the draws.
Draws are so important. Little things make big things happen. A little rinse and repeat. Here we go, Maloney with the draw.
Kick back by the Raiders this time. McNeil back to pick it up. McNeil will try to force it up. Maloney will knock it down. Can't feed it through feet and still kept in on the near side. Now back to the Hanover blue line. Verbeek back. Carr will try to chase it down. Back to Verbeek. He'll take a look. McGilvery up the near side and he'll put it into the Napanee zone. Campbell will race back to pick it up. He'll leave it there for McNeil. McNeil will step out of the zone and up over the blue line back to center ice. In comes McNeil. They give him a lot of space. A high shot, and Hartley with the save there.
Yeah, a lot of space. You could say that again. McNeil, the smooth skating defenseman, gets the puck in his own end, skates towards the left boards, all of a sudden around the red line, cuts to the middle. Got to watch your gap control if you're the Hanover Barons. McNeil enters the zone, quick shot. Hartley with the glove save. Face off to his right, far side.
Won by Napanee, a quick shot. That didn't get through. Williams had a double clutch on that one. Back over to the far point. Over to the near side, Aldrich. He sidesteps a blocker. There's a shot, and that's tipped high. And Hartley will catch it off the rebound. And a good response by the Raiders.
Yeah, the key there was Napanee wins the draw. Ryan Aldridge, an 18-year-old from Kingston, Ontario, gets the puck. He fakes shot. Defenseman bites for the Barons. Then he goes to the inside. A better look at Hartley. Takes the shot, deflected out of play. Nice shot by the kid from the Raiders. Face-off near side here on Hartley.
Another face-off win kept in by Napanee. Play goes around the net, picked up by Maloney. And McIntosh has it now. Pass across to McGilvery. Left it at the blue line. Knocked away from him. Cronus going the other way. Cronus puts on the brakes, trying to feed through a few Barons. And Hartley will just scoop that out of the air.
I don't want to get nitpicky here, Steve, but that's our job here. Barons, McGilvery inside the blue line of the Raiders. Tried that extra move. Little soft chip into the corner. What happens is there's a turnover. Raiders come, get a shot on net. Have to be careful. Face off to the left of Hartley. Near side.
Chip to the near boards. Duggan feeds it back to Verbeek. Chased by Lambert. Gives it back to Duggan now. Duggan sends it to Maloney. Drop pass Duggan. Takes a look. Back up to Maloney. Feeds it into the Napanee zone. Barons want to change. In comes Dukeshire trying to force the issue. Play comes up the near wall, and it's going to be cased to center ice and driven into the offensive zone. Goes around the net to the far side. Earhart on it quickly. He gets pushed off the puck, and the Barons will chip it up ahead. Dukeshire's going to catch up to it. Dukeshire into the offensive zone. He's shot on Vale, saved by the goaltender. Puck left behind the net. Raiders will kick it loose. Calhoun kicks through, gives it to Barrett. He'll snap it high. Just had too much of a turnaround on that, but Barrett found alone in the high slot. Back to Waite. He'll fire it in, and that's going to be gloved down by Vale.
Barrett with the puck in the slot again. Tries to go high. Hits the back glass. Puck gets back to Austin Waite. He makes sure that he doesn't get a block. Gets to the net. Vale with the save. 17:45. Third period at the P&H Center. The Hanover Barons with a 3-2 lead.
Be sure to wish them a happy birthday.
McNeil to pick it up for the Raiders. He'll skate it out from behind his net. White trying to stretch it. That's sent in. He'll beat out the icing. White in deep. He'll take a look. White feeds it back to the far point. Patrick now with the play. White trying to sneak in behind the defense in front of the net. Puck steered to Duggan. Spins away from Carr. Off the boards. McGilvery looks for it. Can't slap it out. Kept in. Play comes to the near side. Here's Verbeek. Feeds it across to Duggan, and now they'll have an exit. Duggan gets to his own blue line, and he'll skate. Fires it into the offensive zone, and now the call back to change. Play comes up the near side. It's going to be Campbell. stepping up at the blue line. Feeds it to the front of the net, steered away to the corner. Patrick trying to force an issue. Play goes to the far side, to the blue line and out. And McNeil will have it back at his own Napanee end. Play comes up the near side. In comes McNeil at center ice. Lost the handle on the puck. Poked ahead to McCary. McCary up the far right wing. Coming in with the shot low and hard, and that missed. Play comes to the near corner. Along the near wall. Farlow able to keep it in. Galbraith knocked down to the ice. Play comes up to the slot area. Intercepted by Case, and he'll take a couple of steps forward. He can skate it up through neutral ice. Dishes it off. Going to the net. Backhanded through the crease and out the other side. McCary will pick it up on the near wing. McCary comes up to center ice, and he'll send it into the offensive zone, giving chase. On it first, here's McCary. Looking for some help, he'll just send it back behind the net. Play comes up the near side. Colhoun jumping on it, goes back to the point. Wait, swings it across. Stepping up is Barrett. Couldn't handle the puck, though. Skated right by it, and now it's flipped in by Williams. Around the net, coming to the near side. Kick back to the point. Here's Cronus. Weak shot will be rolled up into Hartley's glove for a stoppage of play.
Barron's getting pucks deep with light dumpings. F2 trying to force the pressure there. McNeil had a good skate there about 30 seconds ago. Came up the middle of the ice, but almost looked like he kind of lost an edge last second. High forward for the Raiders, able to support that. We're going to have a face-off in the Barron zone. It'll be to the left of Hartley, and it will be near side with 15:41 left here, third period.
Aylesworth looks to be in a little bit of discomfort as he goes to the bench, met by the trainer. Face-off will be taken by Colhoun and Earhart. Drop to the corner, play over to the far side. Here's Dukeshire trying to feed it up the wall. Barrett fending off a man, and Colhoun swoops in to pick up the puck. Colhoun coming in, quick shot off the blocker. Out in front, and there's a backhand over to the far side. Play knocked out for the Raiders as they drive it into the Hanover zone. Verbeek tied up. Barrett in a battle, and it's going to be Verbeek coming up with the puck, and he'll take a look. Up the near wall to Colhoun. Makes the safe play. Puck into the offensive zone. McIntosh being stared away by the Napanee defender Hartwick. Play goes to the far boards through the middle and down the ice. Scott's going to have to put on the Jets. Earhart on him quickly. Maloney trying to assist. Scott will kick it to the near corner and pick it up. Here's Danny Scott, feeds it up ahead. McGilvery didn't see it. Campbell will play it across to McNeil. Chess match for sure here early on in the third period. Slap pass up ahead, tipped into the Hanover zone. Scott there to pick it up. Patrick on him, dishes it off to Howe. Up ahead to McGilvery. McGilvery will skate it up. Napanee will let it go into the zone. Galbraith in on the forecheck, boxes out his man. D was changing, and it's sent down the length of the ice. Waite will have to chase it back. Here's Farlow. Will skate it up. Farlow squeezes through and gets the puck into the Napanee end. Doesn't stay there for long. Back to center ice. Here's Duggan. He'll flip it in. Forecheck coming in on McNeil as McCary will knock him down, but Carr is there to pick up the play. And bank pass off the boards. That's going to dribble in and go for icing against Napanee. Let's go down to Ryan Drury.
Well, again, Napanee, I mean, they are so dangerous. Johnny touched on it in the second period, guys. They're so dangerous on the rush. The speed they generate on their breakouts is elite. And the Barons in the first, they were having mountains of trouble with it. And when you come down the wing with speed like they can, it sets up a good forecheck and good chances off the rush. Hanover's adjusted a little bit. Napanee's got to try and find another way through.
Face-off win by Hanover. Scott will drop it to Howell. Will try to feed it through off a leg. Barrett on it quickly. Back to Danny Scott. Waits. Over to Howell. Howell. Far corner. Barrett to pick it up behind the net. Feeds it over to the far side. Colhoun's going to get to it first. Scott holds it in. He'll throw it to the net. That never made its way through. Here's Barrett over to Colhoun. Backhand shot. Fail with the save. Where is it? And it's picked up by Hanover. That trickled through. Somehow the Barons were able to find it first. Back to Scott. There's a high shot. That misses the mark. Howell will step in, unable to keep it in, and it's moved out by White. Into the blue line. They're onside. White with the shot, and Hartley will slow it down.
Good sustained pressure by the Barons. Vale looking for that puck behind him. It must have been caught in his pad there. He does a little bit of a 120. Puck shakes out. Sam Barrett behind the net tries to make another play.
0-6-8.
All saying that, Raiders come in quick here with White the top line, get a shot on Hartley, be a face-off to his right, far side.
Puck goes to the far side. Here's McIntosh, waits. Dumps it to the blue line, pushed out by Maloney, but they can't advance it through center. Williams will bring it back in for Napanee. Comes down into the corner. Verbeek swings it over to the far side. McIntosh will dump it back to Verbeek. He'll get away from a forechecker. And now McIntosh on the far wall. Hard backhand to McGilvery. Cradles it, gets to center ice, and drives it into the offensive zone. Round the net, over to the far side. Raiders will work it out on that wing. This is Case sending it down the ice into the offensive zone, and that's going to be icing against the Raiders on that play.
Williams on the half wall, right at the red line. All he wants to do is tip the puck. He just missed it, and it goes down for an icing. Transition for the Raiders. They go D to D in their own end, trying to find the weak side that's up high. They miss him. 12-13 left, third period. Face off to the right of Vale, near side.
Play to the corner. This line of Barrett, Colhoun, and Dukeshire have caused some headaches for Napanee here in the third period, and they have the puck again. Back to the blue line. Here's Howell trying to feed it through. That's off the leg of Jarman. In behind the net, all the way back to the near side. Howell towards the net again, kicked away by Vale. Raiders can't clear. It's going to be Aldridge with it. Barrett chasing him. Aldridge with the puck. Trying to skate through. Stolen by Colhoun. Short 2-on-1. Colhoun waits. Shoots. And Vale with the save. Oh my.
He waits. Dukeshire's going far post left, but I like the shot. Vale with the glove save. And put an asterisk beside that one. Another huge save from Logan Vale from Trenton, Ontario. He takes a breather. He's in the crouch. Face-off is going to be to his left, far side, with 11:43 left here at the P&H Center.
Vale bailing out his team there with just over 11:40 to play in the second period. Puck still deep in the Napanee zone, and we're going to get a penalty here. Hanover Barron was slashed. And that's McGilvery checking the left hand. And it's going to be a Bostic mechanical power play for the Hanover Barons. It's going to be Hartwick going to the box.
It's in the far left corner from our vantage point, and Hartwick and McGilvery. And it's going to be a Bostic mechanical advantage for the hometown Barons. Face off to the left of Vale, far side.
Well, if they need the power play to click, it's right now. Here's Howell. Shot through traffic, scores! Tipped by McIntosh. 5 seconds into the man advantage, the Barons take a 4-2 lead.
Yeah, that's a Drayton Howell, the overage from Owensound, Ontario, gets his head up, laces the puck towards the net. It's Mark McIntosh from the near corner, skates in front of Vale. There's the tip, Steve, and the Barons have a 2-goal lead as they score on the Bostic mechanical power play.
You know, it's interesting what the Barons are doing, Johnny K. It's not a stationary try to screen the goaltender, a lot of flybys to get the tip.
Yeah, flybys to get the tip, and then taking the eyes away of Vale. You can't see it, you can't stop it. That's a huge goal, Steve.
Play comes around to the near side. Maloney will pick it up, so a 4-2 lead for the Barons here in the third period. Along the end wall, McIntosh comes up the near side, and the Raiders will exit. White leading the charge. White coming into the zone, far side, drop pass, and nobody was there. McGilvery will speed it the other way, up the near wing. In comes McGilvery, a high shot. That's off Vale. Carr will pick it up now. Play sent up the middle, and Verbeek will settle it down. He'll take a look, chops it down the ice, And the Raiders will get back for it, but that's going to be icing. 10:46 left to go. Let's go down to Ryan Drury.
Well, guys, I mean, the way that the Barons started this game, I don't know that many people would have thought, oh, wow, they're going to grab control in the middle and just put the pedal down like Sam Barrett told me they needed to do at the end of the second. Mission accomplished. I mean, they've got the crowd behind them now, and Napanee, they are going to have to dig deep to find something special here to not only beat Hartley twice, but find a third one, too.
Play up to the Hanover blue line, up through center. Earhart picking it up for Napanee. He swarms, stays with the puck go. Far side into the Hanover end. Cronus coming in on the forecheck, throws Duggan into the end wall. Play goes to the far wing. It's Galbraith on the puck first. Lost the handle, but it was kicked out. Now picked up by Earhart again. He'll skate it in, takes a look, and that's off Duggan. Play comes to the near side. Lambert trying to reach in for it. Kick loose, back to the point. Here's Case, fans on the shot. McGarry trying to dig it out of a crowd. Here's Verbeek. He'll have it on the far side. Midway point of the third period, the Barons with a 2-goal lead and popped into the Napanee end. Play comes back to the near side. Farlow couldn't cut it down. Look out, here comes the Napanee rush. And Cranley tried to send it across, but it was deflected right into Hartley's glove.
It's going to be the little things here with 9:48. You have the puck at the red line, soft dumps. Can't be holding on to pucks when you have a 2-goal lead. Raiders are going to have to start taking chances, Steve. Look for some pinching D. Try to get something going as they're down 2 here at the P&H Center.
Face off to the near side in the Hanover end. Cronus and Maloney. Cronus winning this one. Williams has it on the near wall. Takes a hit from Maloney. Puck jarred loose, goes to the far side. McIntosh able to catch up to it. Tries to swing it up to Galutsin, who puts it into the offensive end. Play goes to the far side. McIntosh trying to keep it in. Scott gets to the play. Puck and feet. McIntosh will get called for the trip. And it's going to be a Napanee power play coming up here. Both referees with the arms up. McIntosh with the reach back and got the blade into the stick, or the blade into the skate, so the Napanee player. So Raiders have the advantage.
Yeah, no doubter. And the Raiders need this opportunity. Down 2 on the power play. Can they get something going here? Maybe some traffic in front of Hartley. Look for McNeil to get that shot off, but you have to start off the power play by winning the draw, and that will be the responsibility of their captain, Ben White.
Face-off will go to the far side. And now the Napanee coaching staff wants a discussion with the referee, so there'll be an explanation over there. 9:24 remaining here in the third period. The Barons have jumped ahead 4-2. Game 5 of the series will go to Napanee on Sunday, 6 o'clock puck drop. Ready for the bus ride?
I sure am, Steve. I'm just having some little mini treat eggs there that the fans give us. They're always feeding us. You know, what do you think they think?
They're always feeding you. I never get anything.
Well, Steve.
You keep it all over at your side.
They must kind of look at us. Look at those poor skinny guys. Does no one feed those guys? They look so unhealthy. I like the move by the coach for the Raiders there. That top line was tired. Want a few seconds? Talk to the ref about how he's feeling, what he had for supper. There you go, an extra 45 seconds. Face off to the right of Hartley, far side.
So the power play for the Raiders trying to go to work here. Puck picked up by Hanover and immediately drilled down the ice. Vale will hold it there for McNeil. Drop pass. Case gets it away quickly. White will march it into the offensive zone. Trying to cut through the middle. Swept across to the near side. White will get it back to Case. Quickly move to McNeil. He'll step in. No shot available there. McNeil across the way. White back to the point. Shot. That hit a stick and dribbled to the corner. Galutsin trying to hold it in there. Not big number 27. Kick loose. And it's stolen by Colhoun and fired down the length of the ice. Minute 15 left of the Vostok Mechanical power play. Raiders hold on to it. McNeil in it to his blue line. Doesn't move it up too quickly, and Barrett easily sends it back into the Napanee end. Don't know what the thought process was there. Here's McNeil again with it. He'll come up to the blue line. Drop pass to Case. Case ahead to the far left wing for White. White comes into the zone. Drop pass looking for Carr. Back behind the net, goes over to the far side. Here's Case with it. He couldn't kick it back to the point. Verbeek battling for it. Picked up by McGilvery, and look out, they've got some room to skate, and that's what McGilvery's going to do. Blue line and in. Blocker save by Vale. Barrett was trying to get there for the rebound, but it jutted past him. Back to center ice and back into the Napanee zone. 20 seconds left of the man advantage for the Raiders. Barons have them hemmed deep into their own zone. Now the pass to the far left side, and it's going to be Williams moving up. Williams into the zone. He can shoot it. Too deep now around the net. Poke back to the near side. Williams meets 3 white jerseys on the near boards. It's dug out. Barons get it to the blue line, and Napanee retreating, and that's going to do it for the power play opportunity. Good kill by the Barons. Play at center. Colhoun will rip it into the far corner. Hartwick racing back for it. Raiders bring it up to the near side. Cronus will dump it into the offensive zone. Verbeek takes a look, has some time. He'll rip it back up the near side. Galbraith steps into it. He's hit as he tried to play the puck, but it's forced back to center ice. Williams controls, drops it back into the Napanee zone. That's going to chase the D back even a little further. McNeil on the far corner. He'll feed it up the far wall. Verbeek will catch up to it. Feeds it ahead to Galbraith. Galbraith off the wall and into the offensive zone. Vale will hold it there. Here comes Galbraith on the forecheck. Steals the puck nicely. Here's Galbraith ahead. Maloney. Shot saved by Vale. Point blank on the goaltender again.
The youngster Galbraith from Homer, Ontario. I think the Raiders thought he was going to post up. Not today. Speed, pressure, and then he gets the puck behind the goal line to Maloney for the one-timer. Vale, another exceptional save. With 6:33 left here at the PJHL Center, Hanover Barons with a 4-2 lead.
Face-off will be near side in the Napanee zone. Colhoun against Earhart, who drops it to the end boards. Barrett there to pick it up, wrap around, Vale down, and the puck was loose for a moment. Play kept in deep by Hanover. Earhart able to pick it up, chips it to the far side. Now Jarman will take a look, giveaway to Colhoun. He was in some traffic, took a slash. No call, play down low along the end boards. Comes back to the near corner. Earhart will pick up the play. 6 minutes left to go here in the period. This is icing coming up against Napanee. Let's go down to Ryan Drury.
Boy, guys, the physicality's really picking up here, but you got to wonder if you're Napanee, how do you get the horses back that were working for you on those great breakouts that they had earlier? Hanover right now, they have really tightened up that neutral zone. It is hard to get through there cleanly now. They've really sorted that part of their game out, and with just shy of 6 minutes left, Napanee's going to have to figure out some sort of way to get to the net.
Well, right now it's Hanover winning the draw. They'll send it to the side of the net. Down is Vale, and he's on it quickly.
Vale taking a skate to the near corner there. A little reset. Maybe some extracurricular behind the net. McGilvery goes down. But a couple veterans reffing this one tonight. Not too many penalties. I like the way the game is going that way. And we're going to have a face-off to the left of the 19-year-old Logan Vale, far side.
5:51 left to go here in the third period. Hartwick will play it around to the near side, and Napanee will exit. Pass to the far left wing. In comes Patrick. White going to the net. They try to drop it to him. Intercepted by Howe. Kept in by the Raiders, though. White with the nice little pass went through the legs, though, and a good stick by McGilvery will knock it out of the zone. Forcing Hartwick all the way back into his own end. Hartwick to play the puck. Up ahead. White looking for it. His momentum was stopped, but he got it ahead to Patrick. Pass across, and it was just a little too far for Carr. Bounced on him at the last moment. Play along the end boards. White able to dig it out. Horse is going to work here. Gets by Aldridge, though. And that's going to chase Napanee down the ice. Galbraith coming back. Play comes to the near side. Long pass tipped in by Patrick into the offensive zone. For Beek. Oh, takes a crunch. Cronus on the puck quickly. Tries to center it. Here's White behind the net. White will pick it up. Play goes to the far point. Here's White again, trying to move the troops. Near side shot, saved, rebound, kick to the far side. McNeil there to keep it in deep. Play comes around the net. Farlow will give chase for it. Galutson on it right away. And the fourth line does the job to get the puck out and fired into the offensive zone. Galbraith on the far side trying to catch up to Lambert. Galutson trying to use his big frame to cause a disturbance. Play comes to the near side, and Napanee will get it to center ice. Turned around, though, and Galutson and Dukeshire were there. Puck back into the Napanee zone. Play comes up the near side. Cronus cuts to the middle. Outlet pass to the far wing. McNeil trying to skate in. They had to stay on side. Offside is indicated, so the play will allow Hanover to get it out to center ice. Here's Barrett. Far side, Dukeshire rips it in off the end boards. Case back to pick it up. 3.5 to play in the third period. The Barons with the 2-goal lead. Play up the gut. Kick to his stick. Lambert coming in, trying to cut to the net. Good stick by Howell to drive him wide. Here's Earhart. Gets tied up. 3 Barons down low to make sure they get the puck. Maloney now settling it down. Kicks it back to Scott, who finds Barrett. And Barrett off the wall and will try to sprint for it. Play comes to the near side. Case on it quickly. Over to the far boards. Jarman was out of his reach. It's back to center ice, and Barrett controls. Back to Duggan. The defenseman sends it ahead. This is going to be icing. McIntosh missed it on the tip. 3 minutes exactly left in the third, Johnny K, and a 4-2 lead for Hanover.
Yeah, I was just thinking if the Barons continue the flow of this, they can wear down the Raiders. Raiders are tired. They played the top two very heavily, and some D here. We might look at a timeout eventually here with 3 minutes to go, and it's not going to happen. Face off to the right of Hartley.
Vale out of his net. Extra attacker on for the Raiders right now, trying to find goal number 3. There's a shot. That's wide of the net. Comes to the near side, so full rush for the Raiders here late in the third period as the puck gets by McNeil and trickles down the ice. So the Barons have to be aware. Here's McNeil. Gets to center ice, rips it into the Hanover zone. Hartley settled it down. He'll steer it out to the near side. That's cut down along the wall. 4 Raiders pounce in. There's a pass out. Patrick with the shot at the side of the net. Case drops it back. McNeil looks through traffic. That hit a body. McIntosh has it. Feeds it up ahead. And Maloney will seal it. 5-2 Barons on the empty net.
McIntosh down low with a little bit of patience. He gets it to Kyle Maloney. Gets to the red line, head up. Far post and in. Barons with a 5-2 lead with 2:18 to go. And that was a big one, Steve.
That was a big one. Too early to pull the goaltender, Johnny K, or how do you determine that?
You know what? Maybe if that top line was just fresh, which I think they were, I don't mind it. Maybe save the timeout for later. It's a bit of a gamble, but that's what you got to do sometimes.
Well, the Hanover Barons will even this series up at 2 unless the Raiders find a offensive outburst in the next 2 minutes. They need 3 to tie. And icing's going to be the call against the Raiders here. So game 5 goes Sunday in Napanee, Johnny K, and we have ourselves a series.
We do have ourselves a series, and we're going to be back here Tuesday for game 6 for sure.
Yeah, that'll be an 8 o'clock puck drop.
So lots of hockey left. Great series. 2 good hockey teams here. Face off to the left of Vale, far side.
Play goes deep. Galbraith had to go through him. Picked up to Williams, and the sharpshooter trying to get it into the Hanover zone. Hartley will settle it down. Feeds it up near wall to Galutsin. That was a giveaway. Williams read that. Napanee able to keep it in deep. Looks like Vale's just going to park himself with a crease and ride this one out. Play back into the Napanee end. Here comes Galbraith. His quick shot into the chest of Vale. And then Galbraith gets roughed up after the whistle. With 1:28 left, and the youngster standing his ground.
16-year-old legs. Boy, has he had himself a game here tonight, all over the ice. And just kind of banks the puck to himself off the boards there, far side. Gets around the defender, gets a shot, drives the net, and 2 Raiders just took him out of the play. 1:28 left here. Face-off's going to be to the left of Vale. It'll be Austin Farlow from Durham, Ontario, taking the draw for the Hanover Barons.
Kick down low, ripped around the net, coming up the near side. Carr trying to catch up to it. The Barons will be happy just to get it and dump it into the Napanee end. Play comes up the near side. Got an update from the Allen Cup. The Minto 81s fall short in the semifinal, losing to Wentworth 9-5 tonight. So that ends the Minto 81s run, but a good one for the OEHL club.
Yeah, the first time a team had went to the Allen Cup from the OEHL, so it gives them some experience, what you're playing for, and that's some good hockey teams that you're up against in the Final Four there. Some good experience, a lot of players with some NHL games underneath their belt. So the OEHL, it's the second year in existence, and they're playing for something after they win the league championship, and it's pretty exciting if you ask me.
So congratulations to the Minto 81s on a very good season. Here, the Hanover Barons are still ticking along against the Napanee Raiders. 41.5 seconds left in the third to seal this game number 4 into the statistical column. Galutsin just shrugs off. Oh, and took a little bit of a slash there. Play down the ice to the blue line of Hanover. Farlow with it. He'll just steer away. And the Barons riding out their 4th line. Play stepped up by Waite to center ice and into the offensive zone of Napanee. The countdown is on. 10 seconds. The bells and the whistles and the cheers here. Crescendoing. And the Barons walk away with the 5-2 win.
Huge response by the hometown Hanover Barons. Play all 4 lines and get contributions from all of them. It's Ryan Drury on the ice, going to have an interview here just shortly.
Yeah, it was a good pushback by the Barons tonight. Johnny Kay, an okay first period, but really stepped it up in the second and third.
Yeah, they really pushed there, and just some new line combos out there, and it really made a difference here tonight at the P&H Center.
So the Hanover Barons will tie this series up, and let's go down to Ryan Drury right now.
Guys, I'm down here with Eric Galutsin. Eric, your goal got things going for the boys tonight. How big was that to score that one?
Oh, I felt great. Coach just said he wanted a shitload of he wanted a hell of a lot of shots, so I just threw one on net and it went in. It feels damn good to get one on the board to tie it.
Yeah, well, excuse the swearing. You played a whale of a game. Listen, a lot of 4th lines in this league, they don't get used like your line does. You, Galbraith, and Farlow have been absolute weapons for your coach. He's told us consistently he thinks you guys are the unsung heroes of this team. What does it mean to you as a role player to get that much faith from your coach?
Oh, it's great. You can't really explain it, Not a lot of, like you said, 4th line guys get relied on. So for your coach to rely on you, it's amazing. It makes you play better and feel better.
Well, you certainly play like it. Talk about your line mates. What is it about playing with those 2 guys? I mean, you guys are scary to play against when you're all rolling out there, throwing the body around. What is it that's so fun about playing with those other 2 dudes?
They're gritty guys, and they're really reliable. I know that, say I make a bad play, they're going to be there to get my back. And they're just hardworking guys, and it's amazing to play with them.
Big win. Congratulations. See you on the bus on Sunday.
Thank you. You as well.
Eric Galutsin, number 27. Big goal for him tonight, and again, a big contribution by that 4th line, Johnny Kay.
Yeah, you know what? I've talked about it a lot. I'm a big fan of the 4th line, obviously, but just I kind of thought as the game went on, maybe second half of the second period, I thought Napanee started to look a little tired. And playing 4 lines, you have fresh legs, Cohen Galbraith, just putting pressure on the Raiders D. So they're just going to have to make some adjustments. They'll have last change at home on Sunday, but fourth line, when it contributes, it gives your top 6 a little bit of a breather, and it made a difference tonight, in my opinion.
5-2 win for the Hanover Barons. We'll be back with more, including an out-of-town scoreboard update, hardest working player, play of the game, and away we go. You're listening to OHA Hockey on CKNX, brought to you by Cleaning Depot by PBJ, more than just cleaning supplies. 5-2 win for the Hanover Barons tonight over the Napanee Raiders to even this PJHL Schmaltz Cup semifinal at 2 games apiece. We'll get to your out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Stewart Financial Services in Wingham. London over Kitchener 5-2 tonight in the OHL in Game 1. Oshawa 2-1 over Barrie. St. Mary stays alive in that GOJHL Western Final, 6-1 over Chatham. The other Schmaltz Cup semi saw Essex beat New Hamburg 3-2, so Essex up 3-1 in the best of 7. Jays beat the Yankees 4-2, and Wentworth over the Minto 81s at the Allen Cup semifinal 9-4 this evening. And that's your out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Stewart Financial Services in Wingham. Here in Hanover, the 5-2 win, Johnny K. The Barons put it away in the third.
Yeah, put it away in the third. They used all 4 lines. They generated opportunities. They were patient, and fourth line contribution to get things going here lifted the roof off the P&H Center, and that was a big part of the game.
Ryan Drury, looking at the game in its entirety tonight, what was the big difference?
Hanover's ability to adjust to Napanee's breakouts and calming themselves down in the defensive zone. I stand by what I said at the end of the first. Thought that was the worst period we've seen the Barons play in a long time, and I think that they recognize that, and they've got enough veteran leadership and youth on that team to power them through situations like that, and we saw that tonight. Napanee's breakout is so good, but they didn't adjust when Hanover adjusted to the center lane swing that they like to use. Basically what that means is you've got a static guy on the wing, far side, waiting for the play to develop. The center swings through the middle in motion, waiting for the pass, and then a winger joins them on the other side. It gives you 3 options if you're a defenseman. Well, Hanover started stepping up on that center as they were trying to come out over their line. I thought Maloney did a great job of cutting that lane off, and Napanee never adjusted, and you saw it in the third. Hanover was able to suffocate them and not really let them out of their zone cleanly. That made the biggest difference to me.
For the Listowel Honda hardest working player tonight, Johnny K.
Yeah, we're going to go to Walton, Ontario. Number 27, Eric Galutzin, like I said, got the Barons cooking here with that low hard shot that beat Vale far post. He kills penalties, he scores goals, and he's our hardest working player tonight.
Yeah, and that forces a Game 5 on Sunday, of course. The series tied at 2 now. There was going to be a Game 5. There's just a question of whether or not Hanover would be playing for their playoff lives. Tied at 2 now. Puck drops at 6 o'clock. Let's go to our play of the game, brought to you by Dairy Queen and Listowel.
Yeah, late in the second period with 8.8 seconds left, Barons have an offensive zone face-off. The 21-year-old Kyle Maloney takes the draw. He has to win it back, and he does. Gets it to Drayton Howell. Howell lifts his head, takes a shot. Maloney with the drive-by and tip. It sounded like this.
Face-off win back to Howell. He gets it through. They score! Was that tipped in front?
Kyle Maloney from Waterloo, Ontario. I'm sure Grandma Carol back home is listening in Cornwall. That's a big goal for the hometown Barons. Could have been a tip out front. Maloney wins the draw. It goes D to D. Howell, once Maloney wins the draw, he heads to the blue paint, a little tip city, and the Barons get a late one here in the second period.
As Kyle Maloney tips it in front, and that's a huge goal, Ryan. Like 8.8 seconds left in the period, a tie game, and that just gives you a lot of momentum.
It's crushing, and really there were 2 crushing goals tonight for Napanee. It wasn't in the final 2 minutes, but the late goal by Galutsin to get things started with just over 17 minutes played in the first. That got things rolling. Late goal given up. That one, though, I mean, with under 30 seconds left and you feel like you're still in a pretty good position on the road, that thing goes in, and Maloney making an all-time great play. Like JK said, you skate into the danger zone there right in front of the crease. You know you're going to take some punishment, and he gets an excellent tip on that. That was a real backbreaker, and it powered the Barons through that very impressive third period. And Galutsin, I mean, we talked about it with him at the end there. That fourth line is such a little pocket knife in Brady Anderson's back pocket. Like, they generate so much energy for you. And when they chip a goal in like Galutsin did tonight, I mean, that is just cookies. And I thought he was immense tonight.
So we call that the Swiss Army line now.
Yes, sir. I like it.
It's got the scissors and the toothpick and everything you need to keep things going.
Yeah.
Johnny K, now looking ahead to Game 5, what does this team have to do through Saturday and leading into Sunday?
Well, for Hanover, just kind of get some rest, you know, get a good night's sleep, and just kind of focus on Game 5. We want to talk about pivotal games when you're tied 2-2. The chances of winning a series when you're tied at 2, if you can win Game 5, they increase a lot. So Napanee, they got to put that game behind them. They got to get home, get some sleep, eat nutrition, and just kind of be ready to go for Sunday, because I have a feeling in Napanee it's going to be a full house and it's going to be rocking there.
6 o'clock puck drop Sunday evening from Napanee. We'll be with you right here, myself, Johnny K, and Ryan Drury. It's been a blast here tonight, and we'll get set for our Sunday travels, so to speak. On behalf of Miles back at our studios, Adam Olivero from Whiteman TV, I'm Steve Savran, JK, and Ryan Drury. 5-2 win for the Barons tonight. You've been listening to OHA Hockey on CKNX, brought to you by Cleaning Depot, by PBJ, more than just cleaning supplies.